Welcome to Commander Party!
We are sponsored by Architect. Architect is our favorite online Magic the Gathering deck builder. It has incredible features like custom categories, comprehensive deck stats, and the best playtester in the game. You can save yourself the pain of assembling a deck that still needs some tweaks by putting it together in Architect first and checking out the playtest to see how it runs before you sleeve up. Architect makes deck building easy with drag-and-drop integration with sites like EDH Rec and Scryfall. Assembling your first draft of a deck has never been faster and simpler. If you want to test out and analyze the decks we play on Commander Party, you can find an Architect link to each in the description below.
The most finalist of fantasies you'll ever Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy time!
Yeah, I can tell you're a huge fan of the franchise.
Obviously,
right
I said it a lot of times.
Yeah, and you know about the whole mix-up with the 5 and 6, 3 and 4 situation.
Hold on to your crystals, folks.
Yep, you definitely didn't just ask Sethy off camera for that soundbite.
Anyway, because it's Commander Party, we had to come up with some funky little rules.
Yeah.
Tell them what we're up to. Ify.
So we came up with limit breaks, okay? Commander Party, we like to create like fun little games on top of the games just to add more excitement. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, gain 2 limit. Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, gain 1 limit.
If you have 7 limit, at any time you could cast a sorcery, you may limit break. Each player may limit break once per game. Each limit break can be used only once per game. We got Cloud's Braver. Creatures you control gain triple strike until end of turn.
We have Celeste Spin Edge, which allows you to draw 6 cards, create 6 mana in any combination of colors.
Yuna's Grander Summon. Put up to 10 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. They gain haste until end of turn.
And Ishtola's Aetheryte Shard. Gain 14 life. Return all permanents that entered your graveyard this turn to the battlefield, and return all instants and sorceries played this turn from your graveyard to your hand.
Do all of these seem super overpowered? We don't know. We haven't play tested it. We're gonna do that with you today.
And if you like it, we'll have it available for you to try at your own home game. And who knows, if you want to add a couple of your own limit breaks to the party, let it rip. Look, that's what it's all here for you to just add another level of fun to your Commander games.
Ha! 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 Let's meet our players.
Yo, it's Crim, also known as the Asian Avenger. I'm playing Y'shtola, Knights Blessed. I'm a big fan of Black Mages because I played so much Final Fantasy XIV. That was the class I played, except I was a Lalafell. But I get to play with Y'shtola here, and she has so many wonderful moments throughout the game's story beats and whatnot. So it's nice to see her, Creel, and all of them back together again.
Hi, I'm Persephone Valentine. I'm playing Terra, Herald of Hope. Terra is my favorite Final Fantasy character. Why wouldn't I love a character that is 2 different races and transforms into something else? This is every trans woman's favorite Final Fantasy character, okay? I'm going to be milling cards and then summoning them from my graveyard, which is a reference to Magicite, and playing with the corpses of your father and his friends. So, it'll be fun.
What's good? It's your boy Ify Nwadiwe, and I'm here with my boy Cloud X Soldier. He's a tiny man, but he has a big sword. And when he enters, guess what? You get to attach equipment to him without paying the cost. And also when he's attacking, I get to draw a card for each attacking creature that is equipped. And if he has a power of 7 or greater, I create 2 treasure tokens. Want to know something cool? The Buster Sword equipment gives him enough power to make it 7. It all makes sense, baby. It all makes sense. Even when you think you're someone who you're not because they died in a pivotal moment in your life.
What's up, everybody? I'm Becca Scott, and today I'm playing Tidus, Yuna's Guardian. Listen to my story. I'm gonna take a bunch of counters, I'm gonna move them around to other creatures, I'm gonna swing, and then I'm gonna proliferate, baby. Because with cheer, I share the wealth with all my friends. Screw you, Dad.
All right, what's up, everyone? We're here, we're ready to throw down. Crim won the roll, so kick this thing off.
So rare. Okay, I guess I'll go first. This is cool.
Don't do any criminal actions.
Well, we'll see about that. Arcane Sanctum and I'll pass.
You've committed a crim.
Yes, I did. Not yet, but I promise you I will.
Put down Geothermal Bog and I'll pass.
Okay, I will put down a Radiant Grove tapped and pass.
All right, I am going to draw. I'm playing Nesting Grounds, and I will pass.
All right, I'm gonna untap, and so that's pretty beautiful. I'm gonna play Sunken Ruins. For those that played 14, this is a very cool piece of artwork, and everyone knows Emmett Selk and loves Emmett Selk. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap 2 though, and play Thought Vessel, and then I'm just gonna pass to you.
Cool. I'll untap.
Rampant.
Draw.
I'm gonna try.
I am going to put down a Battlefield Forge, which has a Sister Ray from Final Fantasy VII on it. And then I will tap. I'll play Talisman of Conviction. It's a mana rock, but more importantly, it has Celeste with Locke's bandana on it, which is one of the sad, happy moments of Final Fantasy VI. And I love it, and I will pass.
All right, lots of good cards here. We're gonna do the Fury Calm Snarl, where as it enters, I can reveal a Mountain or Plains card, and if I don't, then it enters tapped. I will reveal a mountain to everyone, so it does not tap.
That's my Snarl.
Oh, nice.
I love the art on that mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the lands
little
are so
train,
cool.
too.
Choo choo.
Kind of impressed. Cosmo
that's
Canyon
really-
theme. That was pretty legit.
good.
Cosmo Canyon theme, yeah.
Yep, because your boy was going hard in Final Fantasy XI. Gonna be casting Lightning Greaves. Pass turn.
Cool. I will draw for turn. Sungrass Prairie, and then I'm gonna play which everyone knows. This is from my favorite Final Fantasy, that one. And then
Oh, yeah, that one is cool.
That one is good. That one's great.
Oh.
Sphere Grid. When a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Plus, creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them have reach and trample. Don't worry, I don't have a counter-based deck. Pass.
I wish I knew what I was doing as a kid when I played 10. I just kind of clicked and dragged stuff everywhere, so I had no idea what I was doing on my Sphere Grid, but that is so cool to see. I'm gonna play, we were talking about snarls. I'm gonna play Shine Shadow. Okay, hold on, this is gonna be hard to say. Shine Shadow Snarl.
3 times fast.
There, nope, not gonna
Shine,
do that.
Shine, Snarf.
Shine Shadow
yes,
Snarl.
actually.
Shine Shadow Snarl.
Shine Shadow Snarl.
How are y'all doing that?
Acting degrees.
Oh, okay, well, it's clearly paying off because
Yes,
I
yes.
can't.
Articulate
Wow,
agility.
so worth the money.
Yeah.
Really talented.
Do you have a theater degree?
No, I was
You give off
going
theater
for it, and then I was like, oh, you kind of don't need one. of
You don't
these.
need one.
So
No,
I
it turns out you don't.
stopped. Yeah, and I went to
But
UCB.
if you want to learn tongue twisters.
Yeah. Articulate agility is a marvelous ability. The tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tongue, the teeth, the lips.
I would never.
That
I
one
would
you
never be
learned
able to do that.
outside of school.
Yeah.
I'm also going to show you Sunlit Marsh, by the way, to prove that this can be untapped. And then I'm going to play my favorite, Y'shtola, Knights Blessed. So this is pretty cool. For Final Fantasy lovers, specifically 14, you know Y'shtola. Vigilance 2/4 at the beginning of each end step. If a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 to each opponent and you gain 2. It's pretty perfect because if I remember correctly, Black Mages take a long time. They cast big spells, and once you cast the big spell, like Fire 4 or something like that, lots of big number pop up on screen. Make
Big number pop up.
They do
big number,
DPS.
I go burr,
Yeah.
so I
Yes,
pass
yes.
on
It
over.
seems
numbers.
synergistic with our made-up Commander Party rules.
I am excited to
I'm
use
so
these
excited
limit
for
breaks.
those.
Combat damage,
All
fun.
right. Okay. Sorry. Art got to me. I'm going to play a Plains, and then I am going to tap 3 and pull in Terra, Herald of Hope. Legendary creature, human, wizard, warrior. It is trance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. Whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. When you do, return target creature with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tapped. And I believe that when I move to combat, this happens on the first turn, even though it has Summoning Sickness. So discard a Desolate Mire and Sulphur Springs. But I can't attack with Summoning Sickness, so I will pass.
Okay. We're gonna untap, enter that upkeep, and then draw. Yeah. Okay.
Those greaves are so nice.
Yes, indeed. We're gonna play.
greaves?
Yeah.
Oh, those are sick.
I just want you to remember that compliment when,
that-
when you play your creature, you hit
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you kick me in the
I
face
love
with
your
both of
shoes.
those?
Oh.
That's Tifa's boot, I think.
Yes,
It
it is.
is.
Yeah.
See the
Tifa
skirt
Tifa
there.
Lockhart,
Boom.
gotta step it up, she says.
Yeah,
A lot of
gotta-
people would like her to step on them. Anyway, what?
All right, and then let's get fun. Bring out our boy Sid, free flyer pilot. Equipment and vehicles spells you cast costs 1 less to cast. During your turn, Sid has flying, and I can pay 2 and tap to return target equipment or vehicle card from graveyard to my hand.
Shoot.
And with that, we're gonna equip some lightning greaves.
Sid just took Tifa's shoes, but
That's
totally fine.
He's
That's fine.
like, these shoes fit me.
He's probably into that.
Yes, and this is fun. Nobody's flying yet.
I complimented your shoes. Again,
Yes.
I'm just gonna say that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. So, Sephi, I'm gonna go ahead and poke you for 2.
That's so brutal of you. Okay, I'm gonna go down to 38 life, and I gain a limit.
Ooh!
You also gain 2.
Yes. Beep.
Yeah, that's the correct sound for limit.
We're busting out the limits, you know.
Uh-oh.
Taking
This
two.
Buster sorting the limits.
Yes.
That has all the Sids.
Yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I didn't think they'd do it after, all like
Yeah.
with how many there were, but
Yeah,
seeing
they
one
did
from
all
each
of them.
game, it's awesome.
Yes.
That's cool.
Well, now pass turn.
All right, give me something good. I'm just gonna throw down an island, and I will tap out for Titus, Yuna's Guardian. My Bant Human Warrior is a 3/3 at the beginning of combat on my turn. I can move a counter from target creature I control onto a second target creature I control, and when one or more creatures I control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player. So for each instance, I can draw a card and proliferate. No, that's not true, because then it says do this once each turn. But summoning's sticky, so pass.
All right. Let's see what me and my cat Warlock can do here. I'm gonna untap, I'll draw. I'm gonna play that Sunlit Marsh that I revealed to y'all earlier. All right, if someone lets me hit them, I will draw you a card.
Why don't you come over here?
How does that work?
All right, well, if you jumped on it.
Well, if he's also open
When you
to.
say I will
Yeah.
draw you a
Oh,
card,
yeah,
you mean
huh.
you will draw a card, but you will think of them?
No, I will draw you a card,
Oh.
like, potentially. And so we're gonna go ahead and start with Lalafell Tataru Taru. When Tataru Taru enters, you draw a card, and target opponent may draw a card.
Okay.
Scion's Secretary. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tap token, or tap treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. You know what, Ify? Even though you couldn't block anyways, why don't you draw a card?
Yes, thank you.
Am I helping the person with the Sid and the shoes? Maybe, but whatever, minor details. I'm gonna get a tap treasure token because of Tataru Taru, which, by the way, this is, I love my dwarves in Final Fantasy, and this is also I'm a dwarf because, you got to channel your Short King energy in MMOs as well. So
Across all realities.
yeah, like why would I want to not do that? So I'm gonna play Tome of Legends after that, which is it's gonna enter with a page counter on it. Whenever your commander enters or attacks, put a page counter on this artifact. I pay 1. I remove a page counter from this artifact. Draw a card. Oh, I thank you. All right, page counter on Tome of Legends. I'm gonna swing Y'shtola over here at Ify, and then that's gonna trigger, give me another counter. And, well, that is the end of my turn. Unfortunately, nobody lost 4 more.
Okay, I'm going to take 2 commander damage for you, bring me down to 38.
I'm gonna draw this card because I forgot to draw with this.
yeah.
So I'm
And
just
I also gain 1 limit, and you.
all right, this is gonna be fun. All right, cool. So I go up to 2 limit, and then it'll be on to your turn, Sebby.
Tap, draw for turn. All right, I'm going to put down a Shadowblood Ridge for turn. Tap 3. I'm going to play Mog, Moogle Warrior. Legendary creature, Moogle Warrior. It has lifelink and dance. At the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discarded a card this way also draws a card. If a creature card was discarded this way, you create a 1/2 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. If a non-creature card was discarded this way, put a 1/1 counter on each Moogle you control. I will move to combat. I have to do Terra's ability. So I mill 2 cards. Swiftfoot Boots, that would have been nice not to mill, but and Solemn Simulacrum. So I am going to.
I love Moogles.
I love Moogles too. This is
I
a
consider
great.
myself a business move.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you're very cute, so that makes sense. So, this is a great reference to the fact that there's so many Moogle party members in this game for a temporary period of time, but.
there's that one fun part when you split the party up. You get
That's exactly
control,
what this is a
right?
reference to, yeah.
Yeah.
So Terra's flying. Anyone have flyers?
No, but I love Moogles.
You love Moogles.
Just remember that.
You love Moogles. Let's see. You already attacked me once, so I'm going to attack you with Terra.
All right.
When that happens, I can pay 2, which I'm going to do, and I will bring a creature of 3 power or less back from my graveyard to the battlefield. I will play Solemn Simulacrum. How do you pronounce that?
Both are right.
Simulacrum.
That's how I've said it.
Simulated?
Simulated.
Sure.
When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, put that onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. When this creature dies, you may draw a card. And I will put down a tapped swamp for Solemn Simulacrum's ability.
Okay, yeah, so I
basic
took
land.
3 commander from Sephi, bringing me down to 35.
And I will go up to 3 limit. When I reach my end step, each player can discard a card and draw a card. For each one that does, I create a white Moogle creature token with lifelink. If it's a creature card, that is discarded. And then if it's a non-creature card, I put a 1/1 counter on every Moogle I control. But does anyone wish to discard cards?
No.
I think I'm gonna hold on to my cards and not give you stuff.
Okay, cool.
So,
That's so mean, but sure.
will you draw if I discard a card? Or is that...
No.
I kind of want people to draw. Okay, well, I'm gonna hold on to all my cards.
Everyone's so
see.
boring today. Okay,
Trust me, I want everyone to draw cards.
I will pass.
My little
Not being my best moog.
Not being your best moog.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
I'm in a moog today.
I will play an Ash Barrens. Gonna bring out our boy Red 13. He has Vigilance, Trample, and other modified creatures I control have Vigilance and Trample. And when he enters, I can return target order or equipment card from graveyard to hand. There's none, so that doesn't happen.
He's also a good boy.
Yeah,
He's a very good boy.
Very good boy.
Is Red a dog or a cat?
Yes.
Sound off in the
Yes.
comments.
Yes.
Beasts both?
I think I've always imagined Red's more like a fox. And you can say that's probably a type of dog, but I don't know. Y'shtola has a nice butt.
Has a nice
Yes.
That cat butt.
Yeah.
cat butt.
Butt is also slang for toughness. Just so you know if you're tuning in.
I'm sure that's what Ify meant by that.
Yes. Okay. Let's poke Crim for 2. You don't have any flyers, right?
No.
All right. Yeah, that's 2 from Sid
Wow.
with Vigilance and Trample.
Thank
So
you.
We're still chilling.
I'm gaining a limit from that, so I'll go from 40 to, I believe he's just a 2/2, so I'll go to 38.
Okay. And then I'm going up to 6 limit.
We're getting close.
Yeah, It's looking good for you.
I mean, maybe. We'll see. And then with that, I think I'm going to pass turn.
All right, I shall untap. I will draw. I'm gonna throw down a Plains, and we're gonna play Yuna Grand Summoner. She's a 1/5. She taps for mana of any color with her Grand Summon. And when you next cast a creature spell this turn, that creature enters with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. Whenever another permanent you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you can put that number of counters on target creature. All right, moving to combat, and I'm gonna be swinging Tidus for those combat damage triggers. Now, let's see. He's just a 3/3.
If he
I have a
dies
2/4.
during combat, this will be the funniest thing ever.
I feel like I have to hit the story beats, so
Yeah.
if you swing at me, I will definitely block as much as I can
How strong is he?
for 3/3.
Although, if you let the combat damage hit, you get a limit.
Wait, but you would draw a card, right? 'Cause
Well, yeah, I draw a card.
I actually kind of love that because
Because you get a treasure!
Yes!
Well, I don't want to give Ify the 7th limit.
that's fair. Okay, you know what?
And I could just swing at Seppi.
You could just swing at me.
But Seppi, the
do
question
much
is
about it.
story beats or not, right? Like, are we trying to hit the story beats or not?
It's so thematic for him to die and then go to the command zone and then come back.
Yeah.
Yes, for whatever reason that would be.
All right, as someone that doesn't know the story beats, you're not gonna block? Or I could go for Seppi, and I don't think she's gonna double
I'll take
block.
the limit. I'll take the limit break, and as long as you draw a card that's not a May, so you have to draw it. It's
yeah,
perfect.
okay.
So I won't block. I'm just showing you that this is Y'shtola. That's all.
Thank you.
Yes,
Hi,
I will
kitty
take 3
cat.
of Commander. I drop down to 35.
Okay, I have a few combat damage triggers. When that combat damage is dealt, I'm gonna activate Sphere Grid first. I'm gonna put a 1/1 counter on that creature. And then Tita says, whenever one or more creatures with counters on them deal combat damage. I didn't have a counter when that happened.
I just took 3 for fun. I mean, because I'm such a nice guy.
I may have misguided you because I was misguided in the order in which my triggers would occur. So thank you so much for taking that 3. And this deal would hold true if you wanted to treasure it later. I didn't mean to mislead.
Can I send 2 damage back at you?
Oh yes, that's only
right.
fair. And I'm gonna go ahead and did I play a land? I'm gonna pass.
Well, so I got hit, so I'm gonna get a limit anyways.
And
so,
I did my first limit achieving
Look at that.
thingy.
Yeah, yeah, all right, cool. I'm gonna draw for turn. Let's go ahead and play something from Stormblood. We're gonna play Authority of Consuls. Creatures your opponents control enter tapped, and whenever a creature an opponent controls enters, you gain a life. And it's got, Yotsuyu and everyone there from Stormblood. Fun expansion, by the way. Look, when I was playing through Stormblood, I felt bad about Yotsuyu. And to see Yotsuyu on that card, you know what? I wanted everyone to feel bad like how I felt when I had to see what Yotsuyu went through. She just, okay, maybe she did commit some war crimes, but okay, actually she's kind of terrible and she is a villain. I can fix her? Becca, I'm gonna swing at you with Y'shtola, Knight's Blessed. So just a friendly 2.
All right, I will take 2 commander.
All right.
That's it.
I will get 2 limit. I'm at 6.
I get a limit.
Look at that. I knew that when I did that. And I think it's time to be a gentleman. I'm gonna play Hildebrand Manderville, and I'm gonna cast Gentleman's Rise, which is instant speed, create a 2/2 zombie, which is of course naturally flexing just like Hildebrand Manderville. So I'm gonna put him on an adventure and I am going to make it so that everybody takes 2. I gain 2 because of my commander. So I go up to 37.
And I go down to 36.
I go down to 33.
I go to 36 as well.
Gotta do the Hildebrand here like a true gentleman, right there. That's right. Everybody remembers that wonderful quest chain. They keep bringing back each expansion. God, I spent so much time just to get an emote. But you know what? That's not even close to what I do in Limsa Laminsa. And for those that know what I'm talking about, it's not a bunch of gibberish. I guess because of that, I'm gonna now go to my end step. Somebody here lost 4. I think it's you, Becca, because you took 2 from my commander.
I sure did.
So I will draw a card. And then that's my turn.
Cool. I'll untap. Let's see what chaos I can wreak. I will play a Path of Ancestry. It enters tapped. I am going to play the Falcon, Airship Restored, the owner of the best theme song in all of Final Fantasy. It is a legendary artifact vehicle. It has flying. Whenever the Falcon deals combat damage to a player, I can sacrifice it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I can also pay 4 and a black and return this card to the battlefield from my graveyard. And that's crew 2.
Awesome.
I'm gonna move to combat and Terra's ability will trigger. I will mill all of my lands again, apparently. And a sorcery. That does not help me. Terra gains flying. Well, you're terrifying.
Terrifying.
that a pun?
Well,
I have a 1/5 on the ground.
I have a flexing zombie.
you have a flexing zombie.
And,
That's very important.
yes.
That's very important. Okay. And Sid's not currently a flyer, correct?
Yes, it's only a flyer on my turn.
So I'm going to swing Terra at you, Crim.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Before you make that decision, I know you're afraid because.
Oh, you're gonna get limit.
Yeah, both of us will get limit.
Yeah.
So really, if you're
It
trying to
should be
prevent
Becca.
limit, if you're trying to
Okay.
prevent limit,
You're right. I mean, they're gonna happen on your turns anyway, but might as well happen after combat. So.
Might as well happen on their turn because then they would have to wait till their second
Exactly.
main, and these abilities are better on first main.
Yep. So I will swing this at you, Becca.
3/3. I can't do anything about it. All right, I'm going to 33.
And I will gain 2 limit. I will go up to 5. Move to my end step. Mog triggers.
Mog.
So I misread this the first time. It's each player, which includes me. So I can choose to discard as well. And I will discard. I will discard Espers to Magicite. And I will create a, that's 1/1 counter on my Moogle. Would you like to discard and draw a card?
Yeah, we'll discard and draw.
Cool. What is it?
It is Sun-Scorched Divide, land, and then
That means I can put Mog 2 counters. Becca.
Okay, to give you a 1/2 and to give Crim a card, or a treasure, I'm going to discard Tireless Tracker and draw something better. And you're gonna make a bunch of treasure.
Well, so Tataru Taru is just going to make me 1 treasure. It's going to check for the first opponent whose turn it isn't, and it's just going to give me 1. I will not get 2 treasures, unfortunately.
It's because you're the treasure.
Oh, thank you. I think that makes me feel better about not getting another treasure. All right. But
Would you like to discard and draw?
I would like to keep all the cards in my hand.
no.
Okay, noted. Noted. All right, I will then pass.
No one
Okay.
discarded a creature, huh?
I did.
Oh, okay. So then
I
you
got
get
1
a-
Moogle.
I will gain a life.
Oh, and the
And then
center's
it'll be
tapped,
tapped.
too.
All right. Untapped, upkeep, draw. Because of Sid, I only need to pay 1 and forest for the summoning materia. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the equipment is attached to a creature, you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. The equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has the vigilance and tap to add a green mana.
I'm calling it the Vigilance forever.
The vigilance.
It's got the Vigilance.
Has the vigilance.
What's Seventh Heaven?
It's the
Besides
name
an
of-
after-school special TV show?
Tifa's bar in Sector 7.
Oh, was she a big fan of the show?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game didn't come up before the show.
Big
did.
Christian family?
Yeah.
That's what
Final
they would
Fantasy
describe.
7's a very big Christian game.
Yes.
Cool.
Play my forest. Move Shroud over to Red X. Pay 2.
Good boy.
Now that Sid is enshrouded, gets the summoning materia. The Sid gets +2/+2 and
Mana
has
dork.
vigilance. And he's a mana dork now, which is important because then I'm going to tap Sid.
Pre-combat?
Yes, to cast rampant growth because we are rampant right now. Because some of y'all are pretty ahead of the game as far as mana. So
The treasures look a lot more than they actually are, so don't worry about that. Don't mind the treasures, but y'all should draw an extra card.
I'm minding the treasures.
You know, as long as it's not your turn.
Right. Don't draw on your turn.
and then I think after this, I'm just gonna pass turn.
Shenanigans. I will draw.
Shenanigans.
Oh, there you are. I've been far seeking for you. All right, first I'm going to tap 2 for Grateful Apparition. It's gonna enter with 2 additional counters on it. Because of Yuna, it's gonna enter tapped because of Authority of the Consuls.
I'll go from 38 to 39.
Sorry about my tapping. I'm gonna tap Yuna for that so she can get the 2. I've got 1 floating, and then we're gonna tap in blue for Owaka Traveling Merchant. I can tap to remove a counter from a non-land permanent you control to draw a card, but of course, this Traveling Merchant is also tapped.
Which will bring me from 39 to 40.
Cool.
Yep, look, hey, I'm back up to 40. It looks kind of bad. I've got a bunch of treasures.
There
so
is
I
a reason your name sounds like crimes.
Yes.
Just saying.
All right.
We might commit a few more crimes
Authoritarian stuff, life gain.
It is
cool.
very like Yotsu here. So Yotsu is a terrifying character in 14. But Becca, are you going to combat by chance?
I am. I have something that happens in the beginning of combat. I'm going to move one of the counters from Grateful Apparition onto Tidus. And then I'm really hoping to get some combat damage through with my 5/5.
So I kind of was talking to you, Steffi, about story beats, right?
yes.
Story beats are always great.
They're really great.
So Becca, you have, okay, so
Teach me.
So in the story, our buddy Titus here may not exactly make it out, right? So sometimes you just gotta snuff them out. And I do control a swamp because of this. So I'm gonna lose 4 life, most importantly, instead of paying its cost. Destroy target non-black creature, it can't be regenerated.
This is the story, and now it's over.
And now we're gonna snuff out Titus, just for right now.
Crim, what is going on? I thought when I invited you to come on my show, we were friends, and then you just take out my commander right away. I didn't even have a mana rock.
So when it hits the graveyard, if it had counters, I can put that number of counters on target creature. So I'll throw them onto the Grateful Apparition, giving it 3. Then Titus is gonna go to the command zone.
Okay.
Cool, I'm really the threat, Crim. Good
And
use
now
of your removal.
You
Hey,
played
he can
Final
come
Fantasy
back.
X.
It'll be the end of 10 too.
Yeah.
Then I believe that's it for me, pass.
At the end of your turn, I'm gonna tap Tome of Legends and spend a mana to remove a page counter from it. And I'll
As
draw a
you
card.
do that, I'm going to trigger something. A Mortify and get rid of Authority of Councils.
Yay!
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna draw then from the Tome of Legends now, and then I'm gonna draw from Y'shtola since I lost 4 by playing Snuff Out. And now I'm gonna untap everything and let's start my turn. I'll pop a treasure, and I'm gonna go and play Coveted Jewel. So Coveted Jewel is a 6 mana artifact. When it enters, I draw 3. I can tap it to add 3. And whenever 1 or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you and isn't blocked, that player draws 3 and gains control of this, and then untaps this little rock. I'm gonna go ahead and hit everybody for 2 because of Y'shtola.
I will go down to 34 life.
All right, I'm taking 2, going down to 31.
I'm also 31.
I'm gonna gain 2, so I go to 38, and I will now draw 3. I need to deal damage in order to get to the limit break. So let's see if we can do exactly that. I'm gonna go ahead and send my commander at you, Becca.
That is reasonable. I am tapped out.
Great, I will take 2 commander.
Okay, so now I will get to limit break. You know what, we're gonna do Celeste's Spin Edge.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna draw 6 cards and then create 6 mana in any combination of colors.
Real.
All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm gonna go and make.
Too many.
After you turn my
my
second
God.
favorite Final Fantasy character against me.
First, I'll use 4 of it to go ahead and play Alphino, Lavalier, one of the 2 Scions. This one has Vigilance, it is a 2/4, and Eucrasia, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. I, funny enough, believe this is the second spell, so it doesn't see itself. And then I'm going to use the other 2 of my blue to then play Astrologian's Planisphere, which has Job Select, a new mechanic. I'm going to make a hero. I love Lalafell, so I'm going to make that one my token. Equipped creature is a wizard in addition to its other types, and has whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I love seeing the Job Select mechanic as a Final Fantasy XIV enjoyer, just because you are able to switch classes all throughout your gameplay. You don't have to like re-roll a new character. You're still your Warrior of Light, but you just switch up job stones. So to see this mechanic, I think they absolutely nailed that. Okay.
So you played a twink and another twink got a job. Got
Yes,
it. Cool.
this one got a job, and I think that's all I've got here. Also, I forgot it. Tome of Legends is going to trigger since my Y'shtola attack, so I'll get another counter. I'll play the Command Tower, and because I have a Thought Vessel, I don't have to discard at the end of my turn. I'm just going to pass, holding a bunch of cards.
So we are
Right.
all playing Precons here, right?
Yeah,
We're all,
Yes.
we can-
yeah,
okay, guys.
we're all
Just making
playing
sure, yeah.
Precons, just so
We didn't
everyone's
upgrade
aware.
Before we started.
This limit break is pretty good, I'm going to say.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Wow. So limit breaks feel like how limit breaks felt playing the game, right? I mean, we're talking big, splashy experience, and I mean, yeah, maybe I draw some cards, and I really needed that mana because holy cow, is this deck clunky. But it makes sense because you're playing a Black Mage character, and everything you're doing is clunky and slow, and you know, you're constantly channeling, so I really love that, and I could always use the boost in resources.
All right, let's see what I can do.
Oh, you dealt combat damage to me. I am up to 4 limit.
Helping you out.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
All right, I am going to play a Fetid Heath, which has artwork of the Phantom Forest, which is very cool. And now I'm going to commit war crimes. Okay, It's time to go dancing mad. I'm playing Kefka, legendary creature, human wizard. During your turn, Kefka has indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among the cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Then each player who owns a spell you cast this way loses life equal to its mana value.
Okay, great.
All right, that's nice.
Don't lose cards. Heard.
Yeah. All right, so it is now time for combat.
Really good snuff out usage.
Yes. Sometimes it's always good to just have schemes, just in case, It's always good to have backup schemes.
Cool. Love that.
I'm gonna mill for Terra. Milled a big score and a Commander Sphere. No creatures yet. That's wild. Okay. Terra gains flying until end of turn. I will attack with Terra, Herald of Hope, at Crim. I'm also going to attack
Just something small.
Becca. Yeah,
Just something nice.
Just something
like a little Moogle.
like a little Moogle. You want a Moogle? You want Moogle? Okay, we'll do a Moogle. I'm gonna attack you with both of my Moogles.
You did say move.
No, I don't want it.
That's a 3/4 and a 1/2, both with lifelink.
I have no creatures up.
All right, so I'm gonna. Okay, so you're gonna send Terra at me, right? I'm gonna cast Lethal Scheme. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Each creature that convoked Lethal Scheme connives. So these 3 will connive. And I'm going to attempt to remove Terra, just because I gotta keep the jewel.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I will put her in the command zone.
Okay, so now I'll do the conniving. So I'll draw for zombie. I will discard Archaeomancer's map, which will give little zombie, flexing zombie a counter. We'll connive with our hero token here, swamp. And then I believe Taru will then connive as well. Because I drew my 3rd card this turn, this gets a 1/1 counter.
Cool.
Okay.
Pretty sick.
Okay,
I actually combat damage is gonna. Oh, sorry, you're still going.
Yes. So yeah, I still got a little bit more. Lethal Scheme is gonna hit everybody for 2, and I gain 2 because it costs 4 or greater.
Got it.
So I will go down to 32.
I will go down to 29.
27.
I'm gonna go up to 40.
I am also going to change what I did. I'm going to move Terra to the graveyard instead of the command zone.
Ooh.
I am going. That 4 coming at me is gonna do combat damage, and you've got lifelink on that. 3, 4. I go to 23.
And I gain 4 life, and I go up to 36.
And limit, and I'll gain 1 limit as well.
And I reached my limit break. Unfortunately, I don't think any of this is useful to me because I can't do Spin Edge because it's already been taken. So I will save my limit.
Okay.
So at the end, I think Becca lost 4.
Sure
so
did.
I draw 1.
Also, you have an in-step trigger from Kefka?
I have multiple end step triggers. We'll do Mog first. At my end step, each player can discard a card, and I can either gain a Moogle or put counters on them. I am going to discard Key to the City, and I am going to get a second little Moogle friend.
Notably, if you throw something else into your graveyard, it is vulnerable to Kefka, and you would have to pay its mana cost if it's the randomly chosen one.
We'll be doing that in a second. Would you like to discard stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna discard this
draw a
Evolving
card.
Wilds that I hope you don't get and then use against me.
So because if he's gonna draw, I'm gonna get a tapped treasure.
1/1 on my Moogles.
On every Moogle?
I believe it is every Moogle.
That also goes for yours, I believe.
That's right, I did discard, and I discarded Key to the City, so they go up again.
Cool. Well, because of that, I'm just not gonna do that.
I think I made a mistake. I think I wasn't supposed to create a Moogle there. It is, it's a creature card, so I don't create a Moogle, but these do go up to that high.
No.
How about you?
Don't do it.
You know, I do feel bad for removing your commander.
Don't do it.
So, you know, I I'll pump the Moogles.
Do you feel bad for removing my commander?
Well, it's part of the story. So, you know, it's not as bad.
Okay.
But I also love my Moogles, so I'm going to pitch a land.
Tara's, you know, out of the game for a little bit anyway.
I'm just going to grow some Moogles.
She's just in Zozo taking a nap.
And then I draw, right, for discarding?
You draw,
yes. Okay.
I will then go to my other trigger, Kefka. So exile card at random from each opponent's graveyard. Let's see. Does Evolving Wilds. I cannot do anything with that.
Tireless Tracker is all I've got.
Tireless Tracker, I will immediately play that. Tireless Tracker, landfall. When a land you control enters, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. You also lose 3 life.
I go down to 20.
I got Snuff Out, which, let's see which one of yours is going, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's just, I think this is gonna actually go.
Okay.
So Snuff Out.
No! And
You're
so
welcome.
I lose 4, I believe, and I'll drop to 36 because you're casting my Snuff out.
Correct, yes. I will pass.
And because I've casted Lethal Scheme, my hero token here will also get a 1/1 counter.
We enter that upkeep. And then
the
we're
upkeep.
gonna draw. Gonna bring out our boy Vincent, Vengeful Toner.
Vincent Daddy,
Good card.
Our favorite werewolf
Vampire.
Yes.
and vampire.
Both, he's both.
And then I'm gonna go
Frankenstein's
ahead and
monster, he's
equip
alive.
that on him. I'm going to swing at you, Sephi, with Sid. Red, I'm going to attack Becca.
Oh.
And with Vincent,
Wait.
I'm going to attack Crim.
No blocks.
I'm gonna tap this coveted jewel now and float 3 blue. And then
Don't look here.
that's
I got nothing. You shut down my only move.
I'm gonna remove a counter off Tome of Legends using the blue, right? And I'm gonna draw a card. And yep, that is a card that I drew. And I can't block Vincent, so you actually get an untapped version of this, and you draw 3.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's real fun. Thanks.
Anytime.
Okay, I am not gonna declare blockers.
So with no blockers declared, I'm going to tap 2, and I'm going to return red to my hand and bring out Ify, Materia Hunter,
Jitsu.
and I'm going to take your Thought Vessel.
Oh, come on.
That's great. That's great.
So when Ify enters, gain control of non-creature artifact, then you can attack. I just don't like you having that many cards in hand, and I wanted to change that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Combat will resolve. I will take 3 combat damage, going to 17.
And then, did you draw 3 off of just gaining
no,
my...
As
Now
soon
I-
as it's not blocked.
Yeah. So that's going to be
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Okay. That's up.
Look at
Thank
that.
you. I know.
By the time.
All right.
wanted
Now
to
combat
give
damage on you, Crim.
Okay, I dropped to 33.
I am going from 36 to 32.
Okay, so now we're in second main, and this is a fun time. That changes
Gonna be a
things.
problem.
That
You also got
really-
your limit too.
yeah. Oh man.
With a bunch of mana.
But the fun one is gone, which is draw 6.
I like the
spaces.
fear in your voice.
Yep. it's a thing.
Let's just go for the plot, and yeah, I'm gonna use my limit break, and we'll just do Unigrand Summoner. So that's gonna bring red back. That's gonna bring out Sephiroth Fallen Hero.
Oh no, okay.
Sephiroth. And that's a whole thing. That's
it's really good.
one-winged
I was
angel. It's
terrified.
kind of a big
Yeah,
deal.
no, I felt it.
This is the normal reaction to hearing this song, actually. Yeah, this is what happens when Saber Sephiroth comes out. Yeah, snapping response. Yeah.
Is that the right?
Different game,
You
but
are
their
playing
reaction.
the right deck for the laughter.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
and also our guys Ripperoni Tony to none other than the Avalanche of Sector 7.
Aw, it's so
You were
cute to see
climbing
them.
up that tower and that music was intensified. Menachie as well. Avalanche Sector 7's power is equal to the number of artifacts your opponents control. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact they control, Avalanche of Sector 7 deals 1 damage to that player.
Speaking of dealing damage, you did deal combat damage to me,
Yes.
so my limit is now 7.
Okay.
What does Sephiroth do?
Oh, yes, sorry. So Sephiroth has Genova cells. Whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature. Until end of turn, each modified creature you control has a base power and toughness of 7/5s. Equipments, auras, and counters are modifications. So basically, you can use the cell counter to then get that modified action popping off. And Reunion, sacrifice a modified creature to return this card from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And after reading that, that just made me realize we're just gonna bring those lightning greaves over that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
none of that targeting business on my sweet, sexy, long-haired twink coming out the fire.
I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hot. He's hot.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like, he's like a twink daddy.
Yeah.
Twink daddy. That's like a twink and a hunk. In between.
We're learning. We're learning. Okay, so then I'm going to pay 1 to bring out Hero's Blade because it only costs 1 because of Sid's ability. And then I'm going to bring out Cloud officially. So he was out there. Boom.
Oh yeah, your
And-
commander wasn't out yet.
Yes.
Oh God, he's so brutal.
Yes, and when he enters, attach 1 target equipment you control to it, which I'm going to choose his Hero's Blade. And whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. If Cloud has a power of 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. And now with the Hero's Blade, he has 7. I think with all that being said and done, I end my turn.
Okay.
So chill.
That
All
took
right,
so long, I
perfect.
forgot that you already did combat, and I was like, my butthole
Yeah.
was puckered.
And I'm here
Like
too.
you're gonna give everything haste somehow.
I think I'm behind because I have the least Final Fantasy knowledge. And by that, I mean, have never played the games. But I do find all of the characters hot, so that should get me something. All right, we're playing just good, honest magic. Here's a forest. Play out Tidus. Tidus is gonna get 2 counters because I use the Grand Summon ability on Yuna to play him. I'm really on the defensive here since I have 12 life total less than the next lowest player. So I think I need to use that Aetheryte Shard and gain 14 life, but I am going to do it post-combat just in case, because anything that dies returns to the battlefield.
I was hoping you wouldn't do that.
Or maybe I won't say that out loud. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I kept that as my inner monologue. All right, so we're moving to combat, and I'm going to move one of Tidus's counters over to the Grateful Apparition. I'm just swinging.
If you attack Ify, you could get that gem, the jewel I just gave over there.
Oh, yeah.
No flyers? Great. Then I'm swinging Grateful Apparition at Ify for 4 in the air.
I take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, and you get Coveted Jewel.
Thank you so much.
Untapped, 3 new cards. Look at that.
Mama
Everybody
sure
gets to
did
play
You
with that.
giving gifts.
Beautiful.
We're so happy
We
about
love
it.
to see it.
Oh, I bring our gifts.
All right, I've got combat damage triggers. We're gonna start with Sphere Grid. Put a 1/1 counter on the creature that attacked. Then on combat damage, draw a card and proliferate once each turn off Tidus. So this goes to 2, 2, and 5. And a Grateful Apparition, when it deals combat damage, proliferates. So this is going to 6, 3, 3. Okay, and now I have mana. I'm gonna tap Coveted Jewel and play Luminous Broodmoth. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its control with a flying counter on it. It's pretty freaking sick. I have 7.
Pretty good against board wipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
You should really still board.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like a good
we
idea.
should totally still do that. Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna limit break because I need to gain this life before anybody else can take it. So Ashtola's Aetheryte Shard is gone. I will gain 14 life, putting me to 31. Whew, I'm back in it. Okay, and then I return all permanents that enter the graveyard to the battlefield, return instants and sorceries play this turn from graveyard to hand. Mamba didn't have that kind of mana, but we got a board now. Pass.
Well, thanks for, of course, attacking Ify for 4. So I'm gonna draw a card.
You're welcome.
So The board wipe plan is not so great against
I think it's
Luminous
great.
Broodmoth, right?
Hey, what if I don't swing at you for a turn?
Let me draw my card first, and then I'll make that decision.
Great.
What does it do? Okay. Isolated Chapel. I do have a swamp. I would like to get the jewel.
I would like the jewel.
What are your thoughts on the jewel, Becca? Can I have that?
If you board wipe without removing my broodmoth, you can definitely have that jewel.
Without removing your broodmoth on the first board wipe, right? I'm just asking real quick. I want to clarify
You
something.
can't have the jewel crap.
Okay. Ooh, that's a little scary, isn't it?
Your words? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the way I worded that may have made it look a little sus, but it's okay. Check this out. I'm gonna do something pretty chill, I guess.
Oh, chill, totally cool. Never
Maybe.
been done before, absolutely fine.
I'm gonna cast my Crux of Fate.
Counter.
I'm gonna. You do have counters. That is very much
Yeah,
so
you do
true.
have counters on the board, yeah.
That might arguably be worse for us, but I'm just gonna go ahead and destroy all non-dragon creatures. And that's gonna trigger Y'shtola, so everybody's gonna take 2 and I gain 2.
Also,
have a
you
response.
took 1 damage from activating the ability from Avalanche of Sector 7.
It's
Okay,
amazing.
and then did you tap any mana rocks?
I've only tapped my lands here.
Okay.
Which
It's
I should
amazing what violence you
efficiently.
can wreak when you don't get one deck.
Yeah.
Sweet. I do have a response. I am going to tap Owaka and remove a counter from it to draw a card. That's it.
Which will then net me 1 treasure. Tapped.
Dang it.
So I have a tapped treasure and 2 untapped. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to 35 from Y'shtola.
I will go down to 30.
I go down to 23.
And I'm at 28.
Okay.
All right, so everything goes bye-bye, sorta.
Yeah. Here,
And
you
I
that.
get this back. I'm gonna put Y'shtola into the command zone.
The phrase is be gay, do crime, not do evil, be crim.
I have shenanigans.
What's
I
up?
declare shenanigans. Okay, so I have Yuna Grand Summoner out. Whenever another permanent you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you may put that number of 1/1 counters on target creature. When these 3 non-flyers die, Luminous Broodmoth sees it before it dies, and so these 3 come back out. When one of these comes back out, I can put these counters on them, I believe. I have 11 counters to play with. 4/4/3, and it doesn't matter because you already said you have another board wipe.
And then after that, I pass.
I have Yuna with 4 counters and flying, Owaka with 3 counters and flying, and Tidus with 4 counters and flying.
Sounds good.
Sounds
That's crazy.
great.
I was so not in this game.
Now you are.
And I survived the board wipe.
Draw.
Don't worry, there's a plan. Okay, I had a plan. We're gonna see if it works or not.
I am going to start my turn off by reanimating. I'm going to put Kefka back onto the board.
Sick.
Was going to be Terra, but that plan has changed. Fridging women is bad. Putting women into the graveyard is bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't. So Kefka is back, and I lose 7 life. I go down to 23 life. Probably Terra would have been better because I can do other things, but I wanted this up so I can start doing things from your graveyard since you're all so flush, so fertile for taking stuff.
I think
Yes.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
I'm going to move to my end step. Kefka's ability triggers.
All right.
Let me pick at random from your delicious, delicious
I
graveyards.
really hope you get the tireless tracker again.
Please, where is Sephiroth? Guide me, heart of the cards.
Hold it lower. Hold it lower.
Nope. Avalanche of Sector 7.
Okay.
He's so sick. Luminous Blood Moth.
No!
Or
Broodmoth. That's the
Broodmoth.
best one you could have found.
Yep.
That's bad for me. Okay, so
You
I
take
take
4.
4.
You take 4. You take actually 3, yeah.
Crux of Fate. Crux of Fate.
Tataru. Taru.
I'm gonna go to 33 from Tataru Taru.
Oh
this
my
is
gosh,
that.
she's a 12/5?
12-5. Jessie's back in town and she's angry. She's tired of being fridged. Okay, when Taru Taru enters, I draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Who do I like? Becca? Becca, I like Becca.
Love it. Thank you.
I will draw a card. I will play
The
this
only
as
other
my...
person with the board.
You do get a treasure, I believe?
I get a treasure whenever an opponent draws a card. Cool, so it's a tapped treasure token. I'm just call me greedy, but I'm like, I want a little from your board, a little taste from your board, a little bit of yours. Just pull them on, just like a smorgasbord from each game. I'm playing Dissidia here, bitches. Pass.
Cool. All right. Untap. All right. There it is. I have to tap all of these to go ahead and bring Cloud back. We're gonna attach Hero Blade, and while that doesn't give it haste, my Lightning Greaves, which costs 0, does. We're looking at a 7/6 boy. I'm gonna take the safe bet, and I'm going to swing it at you, Crim.
Yep.
Whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature. That's going to be 1 for him. Then if Cloud has power of 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens.
I'm gonna drop down to 26.
Does equipping count as activating
I
ability?
believe it does.
It does. So you take
1 damage.
1 damage, yeah.
I'm going to take 2 to spend these treasures to play Nature's Lore, force onto the battlefield. I'm going to pass turn.
On your end step, I'm going to activate Owaka to remove a counter from it and draw this here card. Then I untap, upkeep, draw. We're gonna play Port Town and flash this Tangled Islet. It's a forest island, so this enters untapped. And then I'm going to do a little fight rigging. Hideaway 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what I got. I'm gonna hide away a card, and these go bottom in random order. I'm gonna tap Coveted Jewel for Lulu Stern Guardian. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking you, put a stun counter on that creature, or also pay 4 to proliferate. We're moving to combat. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Tidus is already at 7, so I'm gonna put that counter on Lulu. Chocobo Knights! Human Knight. Whenever you attack creatures you control with counters on them, gain double strike until end of turn.
This combat step's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
hurt.
brutal.
Okay.
It's like totally brutal.
Yeah, I think I gotta swing with my big uns, because they have double strike. This one's only 3 currently. Maybe I should give it this counter instead, because it's got the double strike. If you don't mind, I'm gonna rewind that. All right, I will take 1 damage from Coveted Jewel when I played Lulu. We forgot about that one. I think I have to take out Sephi, because Sephi, you're sitting on triple strike. I have become the threat, and you're the only one with the board state. So I am going to get 23 damage through at least. So I think I have to send 2 of these 3 creatures at you.
Kefka is a clown. Kefka is also a god. This is not his god form, but Kefka can protect me. Kefka can save me. Kefka's more powerful than all of Final Fantasy VII. You can't stop Kefka. Sephiroth is worse than Kefka. Why is everyone trying to kill Kefka?
I'm going to send the 2 big ones at Sephi, and I'm gonna send Owaka Traveling Merchant at Crim. I'm not sending anything at you right now, Ify. You don't have to do anything with that information. I'm just saying it. Of course you're coming at me. I have become the threat. All right. Blockers?
I have no blockers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will block with 2. Tidus is going to be blocked by the Falcon, so 4/3, and then the other one will be blocked by Luminous Broodmoth.
Okay, so Tidus is coming through for 4 Commander.
I will take 4.
Well, so before
damage.
damage happens, I do need to do something.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my 2 treasures, and I'm gonna use Observe Stasis. It has Flash. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When this aura enters, remove enchanted creature from combat. Then draw a card for each tapped creature its controller controls. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and can't attack or block.
Okay, great. So that's on Owaka?
I'm just gonna send that in the thing that's hitting
You'll
me.
live.
Sure, yeah. Okay, great.
So I would draw 3.
It's not your turn, so I would draw.
And you get a treasure.
wait.
From Taru.
Taru,
Just one.
Taru,
Just
one.
one trigger.
Yep, 1.
Wait, is
turn.
it a draw or just a treasure?
That's
Just a
treasure.
treasure.
You're right.
So no combat damage went through there, but then Yuna, you blocked with the Broodmoth, which blocked 4, and there was 5 coming through. So 1 more combat damage from Yuna.
And then 4 from Tidus.
Yeah. Okay, so that was 5 that went through. So a creature I controlled dealt combat damage to a player. I'm gonna put a 1/1 counter on that creature. So each of these get a counter. I draw a card and proliferate once each turn. All right, so now regular combat damage is coming through. I have 9 with Tidus and 7 with Yuna.
That is 16. Is that all the damage that I'm taking?
Alas, I ordered something a little wrong, so you're only gonna take 16.
I am down to 2. I am so vulnerable. You know, only the last hit point matters. It only does. I could use a Phoenix Down really badly. Or a Mega Elixir. Wait, that would heal everyone. Just an elixir for me, elixir for Sephi. Like, that would be nice. For Delicate, also I have to give you this back.
Thank you so much for my broody moth.
I would like to survive another turn, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
That's it for me. I passed the turn.
Okay. Super chill. All right, I'm gonna take my turn then. Exotic Orchard. So with that, actually, I'll tap my 1 mana rock.
And then you take 1 damage.
Yes, I will take 1. Oh, actually, I also took another one because I activated a treasure from the prior turn. I guess I have to try to close out, and I think the way this is gonna go is I have to cast Cleansing Nova, destroy all creatures.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a response. Anybody else?
Not me.
No, not me.
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna play Protection Magic and put a shield counter on each of up to 3 target creatures. I'm gonna say Tidus, Yuna, Chocobo Knights.
Does anybody have a say in this? Anything? Board-wise?
I got
No.
I can do something next turn, but I can't do anything right now.
Okay. All right then. In that case, I will just blow up the board, and then I guess you lose all your shield counters, but the board stays, and then little Lalafell of mine. All right, little friend.
This aura falls off.
And then I am once again now going to have to pass the turn.
All right, I get probably 1 last turn, and I still can't use Triple Strike because it doesn't give haste. However, I can be as annoying as I want to be in that time. I'm going to play Tragic Arrogance. For each player, you choose from among the permanents that player controls an artifact, creature, an enchantment, and planeswalker. Then each player sacrifices all other non-land permanents they control.
This is when you get to like throw hands for real. Like I think that's like the new rule 0. On your 3rd boardwalk, you got to see me in a steel cage.
I'm just going to pop this treasure. I don't take 1. I'm going to use the counter on this to draw a card.
So for each player, I choose an artifact, creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker, and those are the ones that get to survive.
If you choose this, we're friends. Let me keep this.
Okay, we'll get to you. We'll start with Ify. I will let you keep the summoning materia.
All right.
I have 2 enchantments. There's Sphere Grid, which I think is a little better. It has 2 things it can do, and then Fight Rigging, which at the beginning of combat puts a counter on something.
I'm gonna get rid of Sphere Grid.
Okay.
And I'm
And
going.
then creature.
I'm
this
gonna
is
let you
probably
keep.
the least.
Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna let you keep.
Get rid of the flying and the big old counters.
You can keep that one. Is that the only artifact you have, or do you have mana?
I only have 1 artifact. I have no mana rocks. Tidus is going to the command zone. But we do see Yuna's ability, which had 12 counters on creatures going to the graveyard. So I'm going to put 12 counters on Chocobo.
Okay. So when you target the Chocobo, I'm sorry, Becca, it's a pain. I don't like hurting Chocobos. Don't take this from them, but I'm gonna Murderous Rider your Chocobo.
Okay.
So destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life.
I don't know what happened. I'm nice to you. So should I nag you more, Crim? I'm not gonna tell you you're a treasure anymore. That was the last time.
Okay, I take 2. And then I believe this now goes on an adventure with Hildebrand.
All right.
Whew, a hero. I would like to keep this.
Don't
but
hurt me next turn. I might not survive, but I'll let you keep Thought Vessel.
Yay!
We'll be friends.
Yay!
We'll be friends. These
are in exile.
These are in exile.
Yeah, they're
Cool.
not on board. So
Right.
that's all I've got otherwise.
Cool. All right. That's the start of what I wanted to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're welcome. Remember this. Okay. Then I am going to Strago and Realm. It has Sketch and Lore. I can pay 2 in a red and tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant sorcery or creature card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste, and at the beginning of an end step, sacrifice this creature. Activate only as a sorcery. And I will pass.
All right, upkeep, draw. Yep, here that is. Okay. I'm gonna play Game Trail. Yeah. We'll cast this 4. I'll bring out good old Barrett. Pay 3 to tap this and draw a card. Gonna move into combat. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I can attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target rebel I control. Gonna attach this to Barrett. Pass turn.
All right. We're just gonna draw. I'm playing a Sky Cloud Expanse for Rampant Rejuvenator. It enters with 2 1/1 counters on it. When it dies, search your library for X basic lands where X is this creature's power. Right now it's a 2/2.
Is that an Aputure?
What's an Aputure?
It's a creature from Final Fantasy.
Oh,
yeah.
a creature from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's the Aputure. I can't tell from this angle, but
Okay, let's
it
see.
kidnaps Yuna.
Well, that's messed up. I'm casting Maester Seymour. It's a 1/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to Maester Seymour's power on another target creature you control. And it has a pay 5 for Monstrosity X, where X is the number of counters among creatures you control. 6, so we're gonna move on to Shambat. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I'm gonna use Fight Rigging to put a counter on Maester Seymour, and then I'm going to put 2 counters on Rampant Rejuvenator using Maester Seymour's ability, bringing it up to a 4/4. That's it for me. Pass.
All right, let's see. I think we might have something here.
Just do a board wipe.
Yeah, just do another one.
Another
How
one?
many
Okay.
is that?
No, no, no.
4 after this?
Well, all right.
Don't. No more board wipes.
Okay.
Could just cast a Stola and then cast a non-creature, and then
I
one
promise.
problem is taking
I
care of.
promise.
Wow, really,
Yeah.
really helping the enemy. But you did promise.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you promised what?
I
I
didn't
wouldn't
destroy
kill.
the thought vessel, so,
Yeah, so I wouldn't kill
making
this turn.
deals.
Yeah.
It's a political game,
So,
So I've heard.
like Final Fantasy VII, or all of them. Actually, all of them.
I am not going to do anything other than cast Fandaniel for everyone that remembers Fandaniel and the Ascians and all of them. That's pretty great. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Surveil 1. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. I didn't kill you, right? You're more than welcome. See, I see you have a creature, that's why I'm playing this, so you just gotta sack that.
I love that.
And then you don't have to take 8.
I
That's
will
it.
remember this.
But I have great news for you. There's more. I'm gonna cast Vindicate with Emmett Selk in the art. Like a beautiful moment in the flavor text here. Remember us that we once lived. What a beautiful part of the game. I'm gonna try to blow up Meister.
What's that card say?
Just destroy target permanent. Also, I will get a trigger of surveilling with Fandaniel.
You do want to destroy my stuff?
Just Meister Seymour.
Suddenly Seymour.
Yeah, just a little. That's it. Not too bad.
I'd like to see less.
So I'll surveil. I will
Maester is
throw away a
gone.
land. I'm gonna go to my end step. I have 5 instants and sorceries in my graveyard. So at the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant or sorcery card.
I will sacrifice Strago and Realm. And will remember this.
But I didn't kill you.
You gave me the choice, but that's not good enough for me, darling.
Understandable if I draw your wrath. I understand.
Draw my wrath, yeah.
Okay, take 10 or lose your creature.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for broke. I'm gonna take 10.
Do it.
I too will take 10.
All right.
Going to 13.
That's all I got. I pass to you.
All right. Draw for turn. And I got Butt Kiss. Okay.
You know, some people are into bupkis.
What is a pumpkin?
You know
I don't know what
I will
that
play Angel of the Ruins, and it's a flying angel. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target artifacts and/or enchantments.
I didn't kill you.
I am getting rid of this.
That's fair.
This dies. Okay? No more like save points, whatever it is for you. None. 0. Zip. So
It's the equipment or the 1 counter at the beginning of combat.
But-
There's a coveted jewel.
I will get rid of your 1 counter at the beginning of combat.
Okay. Fight rigging.
And
go
is it
bye-bye.
exile?
They are exiled.
Exiled, thank you.
Exiled.
Well, looks like the discard step is going to be relevant to me.
Yeah. I will then pass.
Okay, let's untap. Gonna play Conqueror's Flail, and that's going to trigger Barrett, where whenever an equipment I control enters, create a 2/2 Rebel. Our boy Rude is on there from the Turks with a nice red hair. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents.
Do you want me to correct you for that? It's Reno with the red hair.
Oh yeah,
not Rude.
Reno's the redhead. Rude's bald.
Rude's bald
Oh
and black,
yes. Do I want you to correct me? I don't know. Do I host a show about being corrected?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Guess what? You don't even get a point.
You didn't even
I
say
don't get
You
a
get a
point.
point 'cause you
I just
didn't
don't want you to
say-
get hassled on the internet, okay? I'm being kind.
Once again, I host a show about correcting people. I get hassled. It's the hassle be hassling. Cast a creature spell from the top of my library, and that's going to be Armory Automaton. Whenever this creature enters or attack, you may attach any number of target equipment to it. I'm going to do Conqueror's Flail. So that's a 4/4 now. Let me look at the top of my library yet again.
That's nice for rebuilding right there. Really should have gotten rid of this.
What,
Probably. I didn't read it closely enough.
Well, I mean, I'm just playing stuff, but that's pumping you, and I'm like, no matter what comes out, I can't even swing at you. Plus, I'm not gonna swing at you. You are not who I'm thinking about right now.
Is it Crim?
There's
yes,
no
it
what?
is. Yes,
I
it
have
is.
done nothing to harm you, Ify. Come
Yes, it
on.
is. And
Nothing
guess
to
what,
harm
boy?
any of Ify.
I think that there was
I
10
think
more
you
lives
did
here
a
a
lot.
minute
Well,
ago.
if he didn't want to say.
So it's all good. Don't
That's
worry.
like saying Sephiroth did nothing wrong.
Oh,
He's a complicated character
who did
that is
nothing
written.
wrong?
Sephiroth.
who did nothing wrong? One more time for me.
Sephiroth.
Thank you so much, because I'm about to pay 3, and this is
Bring
a
him back,
modified
yeah.
creature, so that's going to be able to sacrifice the automaton and
Yeah.
bring back our boy Sephiroth.
Correct.
All right. Yes, indeed. So that
does that?
it's his reunion ability. I can pay 3, sacrifice some modified creature, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So I'm not going to get his ability right away, but that's all good.
But could we have the acapella of the intro one
Oh,
more
yes.
time for before her
All right.
Which is amazing live, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I went and saw the Final
Yeah.
Fantasy Orchestra.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
And
Hollywood
it's
Bowl?
That's probably the most,
Peacock Theater.
arguably the most famous song from Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
Arguably, yeah.
they played some really good stuff. That was the headliner. But am I allowed to say what they're headlining? Never mind. I didn't spoil their set list.
Again.
Oh no, a Final Fantasy concert. They're not gonna play One Winged Angel. They'll never play One Winged Angel. Why would they play that?
You think Oasis would play Wonderwall?
Wow, everyone's so surprised that they played One Winged Angel. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It sounds painful.
Conqueror's Flail to our boy Barrett. So yeah, I'm gonna swing at you. That's gonna be 9 damage. I'm sending your
9.
way.
I will politely not block it, and because I'm so scared of what Becca's gonna do.
Are you sure
so-
you don't want to block it?
Yes.
I would like you to block it.
I'd rather not.
I want that creature dead.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I'm Sephiroth. That's Aerith. I want it dead.
7, 8, 13.
Hey,
We're even.
matchies.
Yes, I don't.
Matchies to you.
And then I think I'm gonna pass turn. I'm just seeing to make sure nothing happened.
I'm worried about Becca being able to make that like a 40-40 out of nowhere, so I'm probably gonna block that instead.
I didn't have to pay the 2 because I forgot about Barrett's ability at the very end of the 3 paragraphs on his card, which is that attach up to 1 equipment I control to target, and so we're gonna go ahead and leave 2 mana open, which is actually very tight.
Uh-oh.
Good
Why is it
dad.
tight? Okay.
Good gruel,
Okay.
daddy.
Great. Okay, and heart of the cards. Okay. I am going to pay 7 to get Titus up in this. You got a 4-5, huh? And I got a 4-4.
It's a friendly 4-5. It's
Hey,
Van
buddy.
Daniel.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, at least you got up there with the jet shot. Jet shot. Just not inside of Una. So sad.
Will you?
Will I?
You let me hit you for 4? Is that what you're going to ask?
So we can end this?
If that goes away by the end of my turn, will you not hit me with that for 1 turn?
Here we go again. You can tell when Becca's feeling confident because then she starts making deals. And Crim and Becca's been kind of going back and forth with deals, but you can see a perfect example of a Becca deal. Like this deal right here. Watch this deal that she makes with Sephi.
You know what? Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm
I'll take
gonna move
that
to
deal.
combat. I'm gonna move 1 counter from Rampant Rejuvenator to Titus.
Okay.
I'm going to swing Rampant Rejuvenator at Crim
For 3?
for 3.
Into my 4-5?
Yeah.
I will not block.
Why?
Because you pump things and I am... You got me right here.
You get
giant growth
You
mage.
get to look for 3 lands.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely don't need the 3 lands. You'll be okay. I'll just take 3, right? Nope. Anything? No? Please, God, don't pump. Don't pump. Do not pump.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
You give me a card if you don't block.
That's so true, bestie. I'm going to take that right to the face right now.
Okay.
All right. So I go from 13 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was going to be like 100 pump spells there.
All right. 1 or more creatures dealt combat damage, so I'm gonna draw a card and proliferate. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass.
Okay.
Deal fizzled like
The deal
It
fizzled.
did fizzle. It did fizzle.
with no target.
I was so hoping I'd get to limit break. I'm sad now.
See how nothing happened? See how Sephi wasted her time, came up there, tittying, and now she got to sit there right in front of her titties? You gonna let that deal fizzle right in front of Sephi's titties? I can't believe you.
I'm going to play a plains. So I'm going to try to do something a little fun here. I'm going to cast Circle of Power because everyone's got to have their ley lines, so I'm going to try to keep my uptime here. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Create a 0/1 black wizard token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Wizards you control get +1/+0 and gain lifelink until end of turn.
Sick.
So, as everybody who, if you don't know this, my favorite character is Vivi. So naturally, I'm very happy to be playing with Black Mages. I'm gonna draw 2, lose 2, and now that'll also allow me to surveil, which I missed, but I don't really mind. Okay, let's just try to make some funny business happen here.
No funny business.
That's exactly what I want to do.
No,
no
funny business.
No funny business.
Definitely gonna have. I'm gonna cast every Black Mage's rotation comes with transpose, so I'm gonna cast transpose, which is draw a card then discard a card. You lose 1 life. If this spell was cast from your hand, create a 0/1 wizard token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage. So
You make another wizard with
Sephi,
that?
first off, everybody takes 1.
Okay. You got something in your teeth?
Yeah. A little bit of rage. A little bit of anger.
Oh yeah, you got a little rage right there.
Just a little bit on the side of my mouth, yeah.
I'm at 12.
And then you're doing it again.
I'm gonna surveil. I'm gonna throw that away, and then I'm gonna draw a card, then discard a card, lose a life. I think I'm gonna throw away Lingering Souls, and so now I'll get a 0/1 little fella, right, from that because I cast it from my hand, and then it's got Rebound. We'll see if I get to live that long. I'm gonna cast Lingering Souls.
Oh, you are
from
gonna
my
cast
graveyard.
another instant of sorcery.
And that's gonna ping everybody for 2, and then I'm gonna surveil 1. 14 Enjoyers, I'm sorry, Urianger Augeralt is getting surveilled to the bin, just because I know he loves his long dialogue. So everybody takes 2.
GG.
Sorry, but
Kaput.
now.
I go to 10. Oops.
So also, I just realized, Circle of Power gives Wizards of Mine +1/+0, and they gain lifelink until end of turn. That'll gain me 3, Because I would have hit 3 people with it. And then when I cast Transpose, that would then hit everybody for 3 or 2. I'll have gained 5 for that.
Okay.
Because Sephi was out, so you only do 5 total. Got it.
Keep saying that. We keep saying it over and over again.
So sorry.
Hurts every time.
I'm so sorry. Sephi
Right
is
through
perfect
my heart.
and flawless
And how big?
And dead.
and dead.
So
Just like
he's a
Aerith.
9/9
She'll
right
never
now.
age another day, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's totally beautiful.
I guess, yeah, I'll go to end step.
Okay.
So now each opponent will have to sacrifice a
You're not gonna
non-token
do
creature.
combat?
I definitely need to block, so I want to keep my little friendly wizard, so I have 7. So you have to sack a non-token creature.
Oh, okay.
Ouch.
I mean, I sacrifice Barrett.
I'm gonna sack the Rampant Rejuvenator, and when it dies, I'm gonna search my library for 4 basics, put them onto the battlefield.
Okay. I have my 7 cards, I've discarded, and your turn, Ify.
Untap. Okay. I'm going to pay 2 to put summoning material on Sephiroth. For peace of mind, I'm putting Conqueror's Flail on Sephiroth as well.
Okay.
Cool. All right. And then bring out Elena, Turk Recruit. When Elena enters, return target non-assassin historic card from your graveyard to your hand.
I'm rooting for everybody but you.
That's fair.
Just being real. Just
It's the
being
control
very real.
mage's
Very
curse.
honest.
It's
being
the
very honest.
control mage's curse.
Oh, brutal.
Gonna return Red 13 to my hand.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah.
That's good.
Can I gift someone my limit break? Can we make a ruling on that?
And yes, Red 13 Proud Warriors coming out, and other modified creatures I control have Vigilance and Trample. And when Red 13 enters, I can return target or equipment card from the graveyard to my hand.
God.
Yeah. Let's bring Lightning Greaves back. And Elena gets a +1 card on it for casting a historic spell. I think the thing to do here,
Blow it up with a rocket launcher?
yeah, everything has Vigilance and Trample too. Because I'm gonna move into combat and I'm gonna put a cell counter on the Rebel. Makes it now have a base toughness of 7/5.
Yep.
And it's
I did say
modified, so it has Vigilance and Trample as well. And how much toughness you got on that side?
7.
Perfect. All right.
How big is Sephiroth right now?
Sephiroth is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Since I'm equipped with Conqueror's Flail, my opponents can't cast spells on my turn.
What?
Sounds good.
Yep. So you ain't doing shit.
Wait, did you just cast that?
No, I cast that a long time ago, and I did a long pregnant pause after I did it for that very reason.
You mean when I was staring at my card? Okay, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I wouldn't have done anything.
So that's a 7/5. I can only swing Sephiroth and Rebel this turn, but they have Vigilance, so it's a free swing. It's this. The biggest thing is, who do I think is going to be able to come back with some BS?
And just remember trample.
I can only do 19 to Crim right now, and that's not enough if he blocks with everything.
The benefit is you might be able to take out that thing that makes you sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah.
I'm a helper.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the move.
So
Is
swinging both at me?
both at you, yes.
Makes sense. Well, yeah, I got a block. So I will block whatever, because they both have trample, so knock 5 off. So I would pretty much take 14.
Okay, yeah.
I'm at 1. Cozy. And Fan Daniel's done.
It's a familiar feeling.
Yeah.
You've witnessed it once this evening already.
It's very cozy to be at 1.
It's so cozy. Only the last hit point matters.
Let's see.
Let's see what's going on.
But we're not giving you a Phoenix down.
I would like one, but you don't want to rescue your Black Mage? Come on, I'm spellcasting.
Who said you were mine?
I'm spellcasting.
Spell casting.
There's nothing popping off in here. Pass turn. Let's go.
All right. Untap. What'd you put on top for me?
That's not a happy look.
The 2-1's not gonna get it done.
I transitioned to stop disappointing women, so I feel really bad about that.
Oh, you never disappointed me. We're gonna tap 4 for Waka Devoted Guardian. Human Warrior, 4/4, reach trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact that player controls and put a 1/1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, if a counter was put on it this turn, put a counter on each other creature you control, because it's the Blizzball Captain, obviously.
Hates machines.
Hates machines, everybody knows.
And also Outbed, but we don't need to talk about that.
Okay, and then I'm gonna play out Kimari Valiant Guardian. 3/3 with Vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a counter on Kimari and tap target creature an opponent controls. Then you can have Kimari become a copy of that creature. Its name is Kimari Valiant Guardians, and it has Vigilance and this ability. You have Shroud, don't you?
No.
No, you don't. Okay, well, then I'm hoping to get my own Sephiroth, maybe. We'll
Ooh,
see.
double Sephiroth. We're living Cloud's dream right now. Call that the Kadaj special. At least one person will get it. One person will get the joke.
I'm gonna tap 2 for the card Sephi cut on top for me. Lord Jizgalguado. This is a flying 2/1. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature this turn, investigate. Create a clue token artifact with tap 2, sack it to draw a card.
If you are planning on attacking me, I should let you know that after this, Ify's the one that is going to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
If you kill me, because it'll go right to Ify.
Sure. Oh, that's on your turn. But yeah, he does have big stuff though, so.
If I can convince Becca, for once, to hear me out, maybe something can happen. You got blockers, and you can probably, depending on what shenaniganery I have, you can block. Him simply casting spells, one of which is sitting at the top of his library, will deal damage.
But you do have trample.
Yeah, you have
How
trample.
big is this?
I have to cast enough spells to kill you, Becca, which is hard to do.
10, 11, 12.
12.
So that's a 12.
If you keep me around, I know I can at least get rid of Ify, and then you can kill. I mean, ideally not have you kill me, but
I actually have
Alternatively,
only one thing I could swing at.
we know how deals with Crim go.
I
Oh,
So I
that's a
want to
switch
point
up.
that out.
Nothing you
Deals
say
with
is changing
Crim.
what I do, and I'm not swinging at you.
Deals with Crim
okay.
worse than deals with Becca.
Okay.
Allegedly.
All right, I'm moving to combat. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I'm gonna move a counter, and I'm gonna move it from Tidus to Waka. Then, at the beginning of combat, I'm gonna use Kimari's ability to turn Kimari into Sephiroth, but other stuff, and tap it. Because until end of turn, each modified creature you control has a base power and toughness 7/5. So Tidus is a 7/5 and an 8/6. Tidus is the only one who can attack, so I'm swinging Tidus at Ify.
Okay. Cool. I'll just chump block it with a rebel.
Okay, because it's a 7/5.
No, it's 2/2. Does Tidus have trample?
I can tell you that you don't have to worry about that, because I can at least cast 2 spells.
Cool. Okay, well, I don't get to do any of the combat damage triggers, but at the beginning of your end step, if a counter was put on Waka this turn, put a counter on each other creature you control. Beep, beep. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature, this investigate. Clue. Sick. That's it for me. Pass.
She didn't hear me out. And now I'm gonna die.
Okay, so on my upkeep, the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card without paying its mana cost. So I'm going to cast Transpose, which won't give me a token, but I get to cast a spell to deal 2 to everybody. Well, actually, hold on. So I'm going to cast this spell.
Okay.
But the funny thing here is, I think I have to counter my own spell, because
Okay.
I lose a life for drawing a card.
Oh.
Oh!
Ooh.
So
Can you do that?
Hilarious.
That's
So-
wild.
Oh, yeah, for
so
sure.
cast.
Okay.
Everybody loses 2, right, from this.
On cast. If he goes to 2, I go to 8.
I was once told by a very wise scholar that reading the card explains the card. I wish I had accounted for that when I casted this spell, but did I think I would go to 1?
This is kind of brilliant. I'm really impressed.
I have to cast Sublime Epiphany,
Okay.
counter target spell, you can choose 1 or more, counter target spell, counter target activated ability or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, target player draws a card. I'm gonna choose almost all those modes except for the counter activated or whatever ability, right? So I have to counter my transpose, which is my second spell cast this turn.
Okay,
So that
on
means
cast.
yes.
On cast Ify takes 2.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And goes to dead.
Welcome, my
I
brother.
will
I
return.
take 2 and go to 6.
You have things that fly. Oh, why?
I have 1 flyer.
and that is
And I have
trample.
reach.
I guess I bounce the flyer.
Bounce the
And
flyer.
then I create a token that's a copy of target creature I control. I'll make another wizard. At this point, I'm gonna just say I have 3 wizards. Okay? And then I draw a card.
As long as none of them are grand wizards, I'm fine with it.
They are just my little friendly army of black mages. You know, they're doing their thing. And I'm gonna try to see if I can keep
You're black, it's fine.
Yeah, they're black, it's fine. Yeah, yeah.
We love a black wizard.
Yeah. The hoods and the hats are not white, so it's fine.
I am going to definitely going to cast what I wish I didn't have to do if I didn't have to counter my own spell. I'm gonna let me see. Is there any other way out of this? No, I don't think. I'm just gonna go and cast Rite of Replication
Okay.
to clone this.
Didn't you? Yeah, okay.
And so you'll get pinged 3 times.
Just
And
3?
Yeah, and then I get a 4th token. And then it's your turn.
I'm at 3.
Yeah.
I untap.
That's all you. No tricks. There's no force of will in this Precon, so.
Okay, I draw.
Oh, like it needs it.
Yeah, it doesn't need it.
This is really strong.
This is a really
good,
solid
yeah.
deck.
Really complex too.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is pretty strong for after 3 board wipes still being a problem. Just
Yeah.
like, it's like, nah, we got equipments.
Yeah. I think I really nerfed myself by putting Terra in the
Yeah.
graveyard. I really myself
Well, it's
over.
because that's the thing.
4
the risk-
blockers?
Yeah.
And they are all 0/1s.
Okay, but I do
Yeah, you
have a
have-
little bit
you
of
have
trample.
lethal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So we're gonna swing at the beginning of combat. I put a counter on this, and you can have it become a copy of a creature an opponent controls. I will not.
Okay, so with those
A
triggers on the
vigilance?
stack now, right? Because you're attacking, yeah?
Yes.
So all 3, does this tap? No. All right, so like every black mage, I'm about a floor tank here for a second, and that means I'm about to die. I have nothing. You've got it. There's no tricks, there's nothing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get trampled over. You stomped on a ton of little Lalafells. How could you do this,
I'm
Becca?
so sorry.
Very easily. They're very small.
They
Wait,
are.
do I
very
have
small.
5?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I. Okay.
You just need 1 to trickle over, right? So I only have.
Oh, you're at 1.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We all have to do it. We have to do it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I was just staring at Becca because I knew we knew, but it was. Yeah. That's not what we were.
GG.
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 GG's.
GG.
Really?
All right.
I know I was just doing this,
Of
but
course.
We
Very
crimmed
fun.
to the
it.
end.
Very fun.
Yeah, Crim activity, because it was really like you just had to figure out who was gonna win at that point, and you didn't choose me, and I will
mean-
body slam you once once it cuts. You're getting through this table.
Look, I've watched a lot of wrestling. It's okay. I've always wanted to go through a table. And second off, I forgot I had to save myself from my own spell on
That
rebound.
would have been so funny. Jesus.
Well, that game made me crim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha! 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 Feels good. It does feel good. You know what? After winning this, I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy.
Liar.
I don't know which one. There's so many. There's so many. These decks were sweet. I absolutely love Tidus. I love combat triggers, and I had so many of them. They couldn't be stopped.
It would be really nice to see what Terra actually does if I didn't fridge my commander accidentally, because I thought I could pull her back. But overall, I'm really excited for the set. I am a really big fan of the series, so it's really nice to see all this. And every single card has a reference on it to one of the games. Like even all the lands are almost entirely individual. It's really beautiful. And there are like scenes on the cards that like I was looking through them that made me want to cry. There's references to like Shadow and Realm, Celeste with blocks bandana, Tidus and Yuna, and then Tidus dying, and like just so many cool things that I am so happy that they did this. Yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I feel like a kid again.
I really think that overall this play experience that each deck kind of fosters is brilliant. It really captures a lot of the game and a lot of points that people like kind of feel attached to, right? I mean, Becca's deck has the farewell with like Tidus and Yuna, and you've got like Emmett Selk in the 14 deck with the beautiful flavor text in Vindicate. Like, oh my God. So it just felt really cool, kind of surreal, just to like have everything you kind of love come to Magic and see it in a cardboard form. So this is kind of just what I did on my own in the bathroom while just sitting there pooping, Should always think about what cards would be like if they came from another universe, and yeah, it's pretty sick.
Oh man, this is such a solid Universes Beyond. I mean, every thought put into each of one of these cards, you can just really feel it. Like, these were all thematic, lots of like homages. It feels good. They're very powerful. The overall kind of Magic discourse is talking about the power creep of the commander decks. Like, take it from me, whose first precon was Duretti Scrap Savant, and I showed up and was getting just like jumped. And now you can show up with one of these decks and throw hands. I mean, probably not with those friends who's doing too much, but that's why you do the Rule 0 Steel Cage rule. Like Joe Johnson is done. I'm gonna hurt him, really, physically, and we'll change the way he plays Magic for the rest of his life. He ha he hoo he ha he ho he ha he hoo he ho he ho Sephiroth dee 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 Sephiroth dee doo 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 if he got Sephiroth out, Cloud got his big old Buster Sword, and I also have other things like Lightning Greaves, and now you can target him while he does his sneaky things, and I hope no one has a board wipe or you know how it goes.